everybody, and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Radical Series for Race 1 at the DGT Seaside. And joining us on commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well. Just kind of came out my nap.
Just walking up, but ready to go. True Scotsman. Okay, this championship, we've talked plenty about the change of day, but the main changes for the drivers and the viewers is that we are using the Radical car on sports medium tyres, and we do have random weather. So at tracks where it could rain, it might rain. But the drivers won't need to change tyres because these tyres will do the job. Hey, Ray! Someone's remembered to do the grid walk this week.
Yeah, it has. As we've got Steve F1 on pole, and he's followed by last championship champion, Demon R. And then third place we've got SGP and his orange livery, and then there we go with Jason. I think he's changed the colour of that green.
It may be a slightly different chrome. Got SRI there, 5th place. Art Powell in 6th. Critical rejoins us. We'll see how his wheel gets on in 7th place. Jimmy with a sexy little lady on his bonnet. The only time he gets a sexy little lady. And then we've got Nelly, and at the back, Formula Gary. Before we hit the lights though, Ray, I just want to mention last season we had quite a few cars similar colours like black and golds and yellows, and it looks like the drivers have tried to get away from that and ended up with similar colours. As we're at 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go. And who's got a good start? Demon R immediately moving over to get it to Steve F1 slipstream. SGP covers off Jason.
Yeah, Demon R right all over the back of Steve F1. Is he going to go for a move into turn 1 here?
Yes.
Let's see how he gets on.
He's trying. We may have to keep an eye out as well in this corner if we see anybody going sideways, as we quite often do as the pack cam is showing a different camera. Demon R having a look up the inside, going for it into the kink, into Brokeback. I do quickly want to mention as well that in qualifying, Steve F1 was half a second faster than everybody else. So I can't see Demon R sort of playing the waiting game here, Ray. I think if he's got an opportunity to attack, he needs to do it. Otherwise, Steve F1 could run away.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and get him, push him in the first couple of laps, try and get a mistake out of Steve F1. But that's critical. Is he wheel dying?
Well, I think his driver's died. Yeah, he got a big wobble on the curb, I think, up over the crest of the hill. And it is one of the features I've seen from these drivers practicing, that although this car is great around a lot of tracks, it does seem to suffer a bit with the curves around here. So we'll see if anybody's going to struggle through the Demon's Bombhole, as it is now called, after Demon R being the first person to crash into the barriers there after we chose to rename it with Mitch not being with us. He hasn't died, he just hasn't raced with us for a while.
Yeah. His lights get busy or something. Demon R back on the back of Steve F1. So Steve F1 maybe not as confident through the Demon's Bumhole, but Demon R's on the back of him, back in the slipstream, and as you see we've got a pack of cars just behind him chasing SUP, SRI.
SGP going for the move up alongside Jason, gets ahead of Jason. Demon R still behind Steve F1 into turn 1. I think SGP's just a little bit wide. SRI trying to make a move on Jason as well, as they're now side by side. I mean, to be fair as well, I think up here, Ray, Demon R is not going to let Steve F1 run away. It's one thing that Demon R is very good at, is not letting people run away.
Yeah, especially some person in the basement. I nearly said the word, but I was just going to say it. But also what's going to be a factor is tyres. If they push it too far, they might not.
Oh, big sideways, bit smoky there, maybe trying to put off the drivers behind me. Demon R lost a big amount of time there, and actually looked like trying to go side by side and took a bit too much curve and got wobbly on the track, and Steve F1 has now escaped. Oh, Gary, holy cow!
Jesus, what was that? Somebody shot through there.
Yeah.
We might need a medic.
I mean, we've raced at this track enough that people should know where the braking zone is, down into the hairpin. I mean, I'm saying that, SRI got a bit squirrely. Yeah, I was going to say, Gary, he was ghosted. He did ghost him through the cars. So, and we are now at 9 cars on the track, not 10. I think Gary has been disconnected, Ray. I think that's what may have happened there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Gary, the rule is, unless it's qualifying or a mass disconnection, then we don't restart.
Yeah, the show must go on as we've got Critical trying to put some pressure on Arp out here, but coming under pressure from Demon R and Nelly. Be interested to see what Steve F1 can do now with him having a bit of a gap to SRI in second place. SRI returning back to us on the racetrack. It's one big reason why we are back racing to a Monday night now, even though the race videos will still come out on a Sunday. You were mentioning a minute ago about the tyres, right? What was he going to say? Something about tyre wear, was it?
Yeah, if you're going to push it too hard, you might not have the tyres, or your pit stops would might have to do an extra pit stop. But before we jump into these fighting, there is a new rule. We've got a pit window now.
Yeah, we have. Go on, tell all.
So the pit window opens on the end on lap 4, not as you go on to lap 4, like the end of lap 4.
And the short version of that is, you can't put the pitch, you wee bastard, till it takes lap 4. About right, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely right. I mean, Jason! Oh my days. I mean, I wasn't really concentrating on what was happening on the screen then, because I was too busy making a joke, but it looked like Jason got a bit out of shape and hit the barrier. I think he's ghosted him for a couple of cars and then unghosted him from the Critical. He's pretty much killed Critical. On the pack cam though, Critical has just got past Jason, so I don't know if Jason is waiting for him or not. I do not know. What do you think of the new pack cam?
Well, it's different, isn't it? You just can't see what's on the left-hand side.
Absolutely, that is very true. Luckily, we can see SGP there, so we know he hasn't got a car on his left, but maybe throughout this race it could become a factor. Yeah, talking about the tyres a little bit, I mean, some people might wonder, why are you talking about tyres all the time, like doing F1 and stuff? Well, it is the important part of the car that keeps you on the road, is Jimmy having a look up the inside of Arpal. Hasn't got the move done, but he gave himself a bit of a run. I mean, Arpal is in the boost position, so there is a chance that Arpal could close that gap to Demon R. But remember, folks, once that gap gets to within 1 second, there's no more boost. Same for Jimmy, he'll get boost until he is within a second of Arpal, but he gets no boost.
I think Arpal was offline going up the S's. He didn't seem to make the right-hand apex, so I think he was a bit offline there. I would have gave him a wee bit more difficulty in the top left-hand to try and keep it, because he would have drifted a wee bit more wide. But as we see, Jimmy's actually getting closer and closer. Are we getting through the bumhole flat out? No.
It wasn't flat out, but it looked like Arpal may have been drifting a little wide. I wonder, if he's struggling a little bit with his tyres. The rear left takes the most punishment around this track. He's got about 60% wear gone on that rear left tyre. And interesting, we are on lap 4, so will we see any? Oh, he's driving off the road!
Has he gone for the pits? Was that an intentional pit?
It may be an intentional pit, not an intentional half spin. But I was going to say, we are on lap 4, so will we see any pitters? And we have got 2, which is quite interesting, because from what I've been hearing from the drivers, these tyres can do 7 laps. you don't want to do 8, or at least you don't want to be driving in this car when you've got any tyre that has no white left on it. Because if you do, you are going to be spinning. And for what the drivers told me in practice, 7 laps, you can still have a bit of tyre left. If you go for 8, you're going to run out halfway round. And if you do that, you're going to spin. Which means if you're doing 7 lap stints, Ray, how many laps do you get up to?
21.
Absolutely correct. So, you'd be a lap short unless you do an 8 lap stint, as Nelly trying to put some pressure on Jimmy. I'm sorry, I was just looking at someone's bum. Yeah, so 7 lap stints won't work unless you do an 8 lap stint, as Nelly making the move. However, for those that have just pitted, that gives them 6 lap stints to the end where they could push harder on the tyres, Ray. So a difference in strategy already. Drivers are going to be able to push, others still going. Oh, critical! That's the wrong way.
What's going on? That's at the hairpin.
It is, yeah. I wonder if we got all over the curb or something. I mean, what would you do, Ray, in this situation? Would you pit early, do short stints, try and go longer, as Nelly and Jimmy still battling side by side?
What would I do? Well, we'll probably find out. But if the data was known, then I'd make sure that I'm not going to need to do 8 laps. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yep. Okay, Nelly trying to retake that position on the pan cam. DeMonard just gave Jason a bit of a bump draft. They're in boost positions. I think Jason may have pitted as well. You know, I think Jason's actually jumped DeMonard. So yeah, DeMonard bump drafting again. And as we talked about before, that is a clear sign of, right, don't focus on where I am, just keep going, at least till we get to the corner. Oh, that's how you solve the pack cam can't see a car on your left, Ray. You go to the car on the left.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy, gotta be
deep. Yeah, he's gone deep. Yeah. Don't know, would they get the run out? Nah, he's roughed it back. You could see Nelly's opened up that gap quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned about Artpal sort of not quite being able to make these corners that these two have come into a couple of laps ago. If you get offline on it, you can lose so much time. But also the timing of your gear shifts in this car. It definitely seems to like an early shift to get that turbo working. DeMonard, once again, a bit of bump drafting. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries making a move down towards the hairpinners on the pack cam. Critical, yeah, here we go, making the move. Critical was closed in, and there we go. That's that battle there with DeMonard and Jason behind them. So yeah, interesting. So DeMonard and Jason have already managed to catch up to the pack after making a pit stop already.
Yeah, as Critical gets through the DeMonard bomb home with no incidents, but he's boxed in here. Oh no, he's got a wee bit of gap. He's went for it. DeMonard's looking to take Jimmy, and he's Betty Boo.
I thought DeMonard went with big dial. Critical sideways. Oh my days! It wasn't on the live, it's on the main screen, it was on the pack cam. Critical coming out of the final corner. I mean, I did notice coming through the bomb hole that he had a slither left on the left-hand tyre, and I think that just gave up the ghost on him, as Steve F1 is also in at the pit. So Steve has done a 6-lap stint. And isn't it my eyes, Ray, or is it getting a little bit foggy down there?
Foggy. Yeah, it's getting foggy. They are, yeah. And the drivers were, driver 4, it was raining because the colour of the track, but yeah, it doesn't rain here, so
well, you know what, I tried to catch the fog, I missed.
Alright. Jimmy's having pretty good race here. He's fallen back and then he's caught back up. He does have Artpal though coming down the inside. Is he going to get Nelly as well? Oh, that was close.
It was.
I think Artpal's pitted.
He has, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, pitted the same time even so we'll have a fresher tyre.
Yeah. Nelly's tyres. Nelly's tyres are ghost. He's going to be coming in this lap, isn't he?
No, he's going to be spinning at this lap. I mean, this is the thing though. This is lap 7. This is what I was on about with the tyre. So this is lap 7. If he pits now, he'll be okay, but he's going to have to do either an extra lap on another stint as the side-by-side, or do an extra pit stop, because, yeah, Nelly can't quite keep it in there at the moment. That's because of the tyres. I mean, it's kind of catch-22 in some ways in this situation. If you're on lap 7 now and your tyres are going off, you may be better off doing the extra lap now. SRI isn't, he's into the pits. Jimmy up the inside of Nelly. Yeah, so maybe do... Oh, there's Steve F1 trying to squeeze in. I think Nelly might have wanted the pits there.
Jimmy's not waiting for the pits.
No. Interesting. Okay. So...
Oh, Nelly. Well, Nelly's going to find out in a minute how his tyres are going to be.
Well, this is the thing, it can kind of lead you into a false sense of security that you go, oh, I've got a bit of tyre left, that's fine. But we'll see how that goes over the course of the lap. But like I was saying, maybe you are better off taking...
Let me see, please.
You're better off announcing when it's straight. That's rare, right? But yeah, Steve F1's got a good run on the back of Art Powell here. So Steve F1's in a similar boat as well. He did a 7-lap stint. Oh, excuse me. So at some point, he's either going to have to do a short stint or a longer stint. It'll be interesting to see how they go. But let's not forget as well, we have got fuel in this race. And Steve F1, Art Powell's missing that apex on that first one, isn't he? I think Steve will get him over the top of the hill or on the run down, because you miss the first one, it puts you off for the next couple. And there we go, Steve F1 all over the back of him, having a look up the inside. Side by side they go. I think Steve may get this done unless Art Powell wants to be brave on the brakes. No, he's not. He's tucked out on that one. Oh, SGP! 8 laps, no tyres, big spinner Rooney. He's gonna have to go. You know what? Well, that was a little bit hairy.
Yeah, he'll need to watch this one as well, because he may have a moment. Yeah, he's not on full throttle. Look at you. Well, the viewers can't see it. He was on half throttle trying to get going.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. If one of your tyres has gone, like I say, you will spin it. There's no sort of ifs, buts, or maybes. I don't think he was wanting to pit. I think he just got sideways there. Oh, Nelly, look at how slow Nelly. I think Nelly's been sideways at the final corner. But as I said earlier, they may benefit now because, okay, they've done an 8-lap stint there and it's hurting them at the end of it, but they can now go and do 7-lap stints to the end. Demon R, though, pitted lap 4, so he's on 6-lap stints, so he'll probably pit at the end of the next lap, which means Ray's got plenty of tyre life. Jason pitted at the same time and he's right behind him, so Jason may be on a similar strategy, but then it depends maybe on what fuel they've got in. Now, with the fuel will last a long time, but you will have to put fuel in during the races in this championship. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, some people might find it beneficial to save fuel.
Yeah, especially with the turbo and the short shifting that you can do, so you could save a bit of fuel. And the ones that are in the pack, if they short shift and save fuel while they're in that boost zone, that'll be might be beneficial for them in later stages of the race. As you see, Steve F1 chasing down Jason here. Is he going to get him too close to him before the Demon R Rumble? No, he's got a wee bit of gap, but it looks like Jason's pulled away a wee bit from there. I don't think Steve F1 doesn't look completely... Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not confidence, maybe it's just... maybe it actually is confidence. I don't have to go... Oh, Jason! Big slide!
Where is he? Where's he going?
I think Jason's gone for the pits. Now, I did mention that Jason jumped Demon R in the previous pit stop, so I don't know if Jason took fuel on. I mean, he shouldn't be...
He's not at the pits. Yeah, he's not been in the pits yet.
Maybe he didn't go in the pits. Maybe he spun then. Sorry. Well, let's see. We're going going to have a look at him. There he is. Okay, he didn't pit. No, he binned it. Now, sometimes we want to make. You were talking about like the short shifting and stuff like that. In this car, it really does work. As an example, the hairpin where we saw Gary do a bit of Marty McFly and disappear into the distance, into the future. I know the game suggests taking that corner in second gear. I know Demon R is taking it in third. Steve F1 is also taking it in third. So something to think about. I'll mention more about that in a moment. It's critical. All over the back of Art Pal with Jason having SRI all over the back of him. I tell you what, Ray, it doesn't look like Critical is suffering from any wheel issues as we get close to halfway through this race. He has got not a lot of fuel.
Yeah, he's still up there in third, so he's doing not too bad. As we see, SRI's managed to get Jason. Oh, they're still side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason's coming back.
Oh, is this another one
I
of
guess SRI's.
Hello, right. You're in Jason.
Yeah.
Hello, right. You're in Jason. Break.
Yeah.
What's the Swedish for break? Fucking break. But okay, so Critical doing well at the moment. Demon R is into the pits with 57%.
Oh, he's slipped.
Oh no!
Blame them. Jason. Oh, Jason might get a penalty. He was going for the pits. He went for the pits, or did he?
No, he didn't. But interestingly though, Ray, Steve F1 has more fuel in his car than Demon R did. Steve F1's done a short stint. He's only done a 3-lap stint. Or he's done a 4-lap stint, sorry. Interesting. Okay, so Demon R coming in. Steve F1's there. Okay, so Steve F1 coming in at the same time as Demon R when he was a couple of seconds behind him, having more fuel in, manages to jump ahead, and he's ahead of SGP, who by the looks of it has also recently pitted.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting as well. Not that the viewers can see it, but I mentioned about Steve F1 using third gear. It's in the second gear corner. SGP is using fourth gear through Brokeback.
You can see though, he is losing a bit of time, even maybe using that one gear too many.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, it's suggested second gear. Steve F1, I believe, is using third gear in that corner. SGP taking it a level further, using the fourth gear. It will save a lot of fuel, and you can still be quick while doing this. Again, Steve F1 is in third gear through the hairpin. SGP's in fourth gear, so they're able to still do Demon R third gear, so they're able to still do decent lap times. Now, this may be a feature with this car, but also for any of the drivers, if they are perhaps struggling a bit with tyre wear, or wobbly roll, Jimmy! It was Demon R getting wobbly, and I think Jimmy had already hit the wall. But yeah, okay, I'm interested. Okay, let's see, what gear is SGP going to use for this final? Fourth gear! Wow! Okay, to put that into perspective, the suggested gear for that corner is second. And I believe Steve F1 is using third gear, SGP fourth gear. But I was going to say, we've seen a couple of cars, Ray, get a little bit squirrely around the final corner as Demon R making a move on Jimmy in the background. We've seen a couple of cars get scribbly out of turn 2 here, out to Demon's elbow. So again, SGP, he's using fourth gear here, where the game suggests second. And Steve F1 again in third. So I think a few of the drivers may find themselves getting a little bit squirrely or hurting the tyres by using a second gear when they probably could use a third gear.
Yeah. Oh, Demon R's got a bit of a run on SGP, maybe the gear difference.
Yeah. Again, the viewers can't see it. Yeah, Demon R was third, SGP was fourth.
Yeah. Let's see how Critical gets up here with Steve F1 behind him. He looks very tight to that side line.
I think he got a little bit deep in the middle of the S's there, which sends you out wide. I also think Critical's tyres are older than Steve F1's. Again, Steve F1 through that corner in third. Demon Orange going in the corner in second, coming out of the corner in third. It's very. I mean, I don't want to sound boring talking about this, knowing that the viewers can't see what gear the drivers are in, but I do. It's a definite feature, I think, of this car that you can short shift it, and it's got the power in the turbo to do it. But also doing it saves your tyres, stops you getting squirrely, and you can be fast. So yeah, SGP having a look at Critical One, also defending, definitely having. Oh, Demon Art bunting Critical. Keeping him ahead of SGP. Oh, God forbid.
Yeah. I don't think he had anywhere to go there. Get SGP down the inside and then Demon R right up the back side of him.
Absolutely.
Hello, Critical. Welcome back.
Absolutely. It wouldn't
We're
be.
testing your wheel.
We're testing your loose rear end is. I'll tell you something else I've been testing recently, but I'll mention it in a moment, as Nelly has made a move on Jimmy. Demon R still behind SGP. Steve F1 opening up that gap once again. This is an interesting situation though for Demon R and SGP. Demon R won't have any possibility of getting boost. Nelly can get boost if he drops a second back. So I don't think Demon R, I was going to say, needs to battle SGP, because they'll end up being attacked from behind. But here we go, side by side. No, he's tucked out of it, you see.
Yeah, I think he's going to hopefully get the run out over the hill and into the hairpin. And while these two are fighting, it's just giving Steve F1 that little gap, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely. Demon R once again not going for a move, just trying to keep it nice and tidy by the looks of things. Actually going for the move on the exit of the corner. Is he ahead? Yes, he is just. Nelly still right behind them with Jimmy right behind Nelly. Now I mentioned that I've been trying something recently, and I'm interested in your opinion on this. I've been curious about what the SGP's re-overtaking. Sorry, I'm trying to word how to say this without being very, very wrong. SGP hasn't made the move. Arpal is on the back of Jimmy. Jimmy getting a little bit scribbly. Okay, so I'll just ask you, what does smoking and orally pleasuring a woman have in common?
I've heard this one and I can't remember it.
Well, SGP trying to make the move, can't get it done. Talking about can't get it done. The flavour changes when you get to the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what we got going on in this race now then, Ray?
Well, we've got a 2, 4, 5-way battle here. Demon R at the head of it. I don't know, is he catching? He's pulled away from SGP now, so it might be. It looked like he got a wee bit more towards Steve F1 there. As we see Art Battle, he's made that corner now, coming up the S's. So, yeah, maybe taking him a couple of, 14 laps to try and figure it out. Is he going for a move on Nelly? Is he going to Nelly? He's light on the brakes. Is Nelly going to make the apex? I thought Nelly was a wee bit wide, but sometimes you can go wide on that hairpin and still have the drive out the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. You can carry. Oh, Jimmy into the barrier. Oh, Nelly!
Oh, Nelly!
Oh, and he's collected Nelly. Jimmy as well. That'll give Arpal a bit of a breather. Whereas Nelly is now breathing out of his arse because Jimmy's just rammed him up in. Although it wasn't Jimmy's fault, Nelly hit that barrier. Yeah, and I was going to mention, while him and Arpal were battling, Nelly's tyres were considerably more worn than Arpal's. Excuse me.
Fuck no.
Well, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you go from 110 mile an hour to a near dead stop, the tyres keep spinning. And talking about tyres, I went to.
Oh shit! Look.
Oh, SRI, sorry. He's been out for a couple of championships. He's now leading this race. First race back. Oh, he's not leading for any longer. Oh, that slither. Okay, this is going to be... You know what? I think this is SRI's 8th lap on this set of tyres. Let's see if he can survive it. To be honest...
Yeah, lap 7 was his last pit.
Oh, he got slidey there, but he should be okay. But on the carpet, sliding. Oh, wobble! He saved it. No, he hasn't. Oh, dear. God, you know what? It's so cold here. I can see my own breath.
I think I seen his own breath. He's went pale as a ghost.
Okay, so Steve F1, his tyres are looking good. Demon R, his tyres, SGP's tyres are not looking as good. He pitted earlier though than Demon R and Steve F1. Art Powell, actually Art Powell's doing all right here. He pitted at the same time as Demon R. It's interesting seeing the drivers using different levels of curve through some of these corners. I think Art Powell just took a deep breath there. But yeah, I think a lot of it just depends on what confidence the drivers have got. Oh, that's alright! Oh, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Connor sending me your hot pants right now.
Art Powell's that penalty. But he looked later than everybody else.
He did, didn't he? Okay, so Steve F1 hasn't pitted. Oh, okay, so this is with pitting now, leaves 7 laps. Okay, Steve F1 hasn't pitted, Jimmy hasn't pitted, Demon R has pitted, Art Powell has pitted, Nelly has pitted, SGP has pitted. They've all got different fuel amounts, so that could affect how they come out. SRI nearly didn't get to the pit lane there. Critical, he's got fairly fresh tyres, but he's not going to get to the end. Steve F1 though, he's got plenty of fuel on board. He's got over 50%, so that'll help him when he comes to pit. You know what'll also help him, Ray? Look at what position Demon R's in.
Off.
No boost.
Last of the.
Yeah. So SGP could potentially get boost, but for Steve F1, this actually going a lap longer has worked out beautifully for him here, because Demon R won't get that boost. If one more car would have stayed out, Demon R and SGP would get the boost, and the gap between Steve F1 and Demon R would come down considerably. Okay, so let's see how it's interesting. You know, let's see how Steve F1's hands off through the bomb hole, shall we, on the pack cap. See if the car's getting out of shape. Nice and smooth there. Nice and smooth there. Nice and smooth there. Lovely.
He's smooth as a baby's bottom on that.
Smooth operator. Yeah, so I mentioned that, I was trying to mention that I went to look at a new car today, and I said to the guy who showed the salesman showing us around, I asked about the cargo space. He goes, "Car don't do that, cargo road."
Yeah, I'd seen that today.
Yeah, well, Art Powell shared it in the driver's chat, and I was saving it for this bloody commentary. Swine. Okay, so Steve F1 is into the pits. Jimmy's in the pits, he's going to need fuel. Jason is going to take the lead in this race, but he's going to have to pit again, I believe. And Steve F1's coming in, Jason's not going to take it, or is he going to take the lead?
He's going to take any time when he's got the faster speed.
He's going to need to pit those
Oh, look, SGP and Demon R side by side into turn 1. SGP's went for the move. It might be... Demon R might have the run out because the SGP did go a bit deep. Yeah, look at that, Demon R's trying to get back through, so... This is...
on Jason's got side by side. I mean, interesting, you're mentioning about that battle, it's important because SGP and Demon R can't afford to battle right now because Steve F1's ahead of them.
But we never know. Jason could be the leader of the championship by the time then. Here it's a new championship, so it's anybody's game now.
Well, that's true. I mean, if Jason can re-attack Steve F1 and get into a fight, then third down will catch them. Unfortunately, though, it looks like Jason has already dropped away. I should have said Steve F1 has already pulled away from Jason. You see, I was going to say something wrong. I won't. I'll behave. I'll try anyway. Okay, so SGP still trying to get close to the back of Demon Art. Nelly now ahead of Art Pal. I'm not sure when Nelly pitted. I think it was fairly recently. I tell you what. I think we've got Demon R, SGP, Nelly, Art Pal do not need to pit again. I think Nelly's in the wall, has he?
I don't know. Yep, he must have, because Art Pal's got him.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, Art Pal has got him for now. As Demon R trying to make the move around the outside of Jason.
Nearly late on the brakes. Art Pal was on the brakes, and then it's as if he released them and then went back on them. So, braking games going on here.
What? Remind me of that after the race, because there's something interesting I can talk to you about that. So SGP with Demon R right behind him. Is SGP going to try making the move? No, he's not. And what does that mean, Ray?
I don't know.
It means it was the secret signal of I'm not going to attack you. Let's catch up the car in front. It was the Durka signal.
What signal?
The Durka signal from Team America. The secret signal.
Oh no, I've not watched the full thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to show you the secret signal. Everybody that's seen it knows.
No, you're okay. I'll pass.
Um,
I'm not any of that kinky shit.
No, it's not kinky. No, this one is. I'm in danger. Save me. So yeah. Okay, critical on the pack cam.
Yeah, yours. I'm in danger. Save me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
you saw that out the hill then, yeah.
Sideways, coming over the hill. Jesus, I've not seen that before.
But I have by a blue car, but he ended up in the barrier. Okay, critical needs to pit. Look, his tyres. He can't get to the end. I think, unfortunately for critical, I think he would have been better off pitting a lap ago. Oh, sideways. Oh, I mean, okay, they're having a great battle here, but it's one of those, Ray, where if you know you're going to need to pit again, pit with as many laps left as you can, because that way you get way more boost to be able to catch up. Critical pitting now is going to lose, what, 25 seconds on Nelly? 6 seconds lapse of boost on lap 19, 20, 21, 6, 12, 18, 24. It's going to be tight as to whether he could catch up. But if he'd have pitted with 7 or 6 or 5 laps to go, he'd give himself an extra bit of chance with the boost. And you know what? It's getting gloomy again.
Yeah, and Demon has closing that little bit. It's not much, but it seems more. You're getting Steve F1 into the same camera shot.
Are you saying that every little counts?
Yeah.
It does if you've got
Yeah, it does. This is
not a premeditated, just after making that off-the-cuff joke. I wonder if there's any such thing as a micro foof.
For a micro penis.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, again, the viewers can't see this. Okay, Art Pal is revving his revs out to near enough maximum, which would be about 7.5, maybe 8,000 RPM. Unfortunately, he's losing speed by doing it.
Dead by then.
Say again?
Turbo's dead. Turbo's dead by then.
Absolutely, yeah. So if he was actually shifting a bit earlier, he would get more speed out of the car. Oh, Nelly got sideways. Oh, Jimmy up his arse again. Nelly must have a micro rear end because Jimmy did go through him. However, the Swedish blonde. Oh, Jimmy trying to go around the outside. Yeah, Jason looking up the inside.
Yeah, I think Nelly went to give Jason more room. Look, is he going to do a double switchback? Is Jimmy going to do a double switchback? He's trying. Free wide.
Unfortunately for him, though, Nelly's got the slipstream from Art Pal, and Art Pal isn't sharing. Actually, Nelly's not gained the slipstream. Oh, okay, this could be tricky.
How are we going?
Oh, nice.
Oh, Jimmy's looking for the line.
I think Jimmy's going to get Nelly here. I think Jimmy's got better tyres than Nelly, but Jason's got better tyres than the both of them. This is brilliant. And here comes SRI. Oh, it's too late to say SRI. Okay, maybe I should stop drinking. I've only had a pint.
Well, at least it's less than your brother.
Well, I was going to say, a pint and a half of what, young man? Okay, so Jason's got very, very fresh tyres. I think Art Pal may become a bit of a sitting duck because Art Pal's on a 7-lap stint. Okay, and interestingly as well, this is a situation where Art Pal is in that spot of not having boost, but now Jason doesn't have boost. Nelly doesn't have boost, SRI doesn't have boost, and Jimmy doesn't have boost. Look how close they are. And I think sometimes the drivers get it into their head of, I'm in that no boost position, I'm going to get absolutely mugged here. But actually they won't be, because we can see here that Arpal and Jason are battling side by side. This is all down to the drivers and the tyres. Nelly's right there, but he's not just blasting past. And now Arpal's in that boost position. He's not going to get boost because of how close he is to Jason. So it's not like he's just going to drive past him, is it? So I would say for any of the drivers that find themselves in that no boost position, keep going, because just because the car's right up your jufter doesn't mean it's going to do you.
Yeah, just make sure you're hitting your brake. Oh, Nelly's sideways.
I think Evis heard you saying hit your brakes for hitting the barrier.
Yeah, just make sure you hit your braking points and your turn-ins and get on the accelerator when you're supposed to. And you might actually be able to keep them behind you, because you're going to find that for the person behind you, he's going to have to either brake late and make a daring move, or he might get the run. He'll need to try and make sure he gets the run out the corner, as we see SRI and Jimmy side by side.
This is where Jason and SRI's fresh tyres is what's helped them now. I mean, you're absolutely right. Not only, like, if you keep going, right, and you make it, the other guy's got to pass you, they've also going to potentially have to defend. So, like SRI now, as much as he may want to go and attack Jason, who is in that no boost position, SRI's got to defend from Jimmy. But at the same time, if he defends too much, becomes more of a sitting duck. But we can see here, so SRI defended. So okay, if you're going to go past me, you've got to go round the outside. But that's not going to happen on this occasion. Arpal trying to do a bit of a switch back. Jimmy trying to carry that speed around the outside. Can't get it done, SRI. This is a perfect example of exactly what you was on about.
Yep. SRI's just staying in front, but he's finding it difficult. He's got to have his car positioned in the right place at the right time. Let's see how he gets on this. He's not went to defend the corner here.
Yeah, I think that's the right kind of move at this point. Though we had just enough of a gap to Arpal as Jimmy once again gets sideways. However, Ray, when we were on board with Jimmy a moment ago through the bomb hole, I noticed his fuel gauge flashing. Know what that means?
Oh, he's going to be low on fuel. Look, Arpal's got a better run out of the last corner. As what's he going? SRI's just staying in the middle of the road. He's not really. Oh, he's went deep. He's went deep.
Yeah, he's not in the middle of the road anymore. But yeah, I mean that wasn't a full-on hard defence. That was a defence of. Enough of, okay, if you're going to go up the inside, you're going to have to take a very, very tight line. Okay, Steve F1 all on his own out of front, tyres looking fine, his fuel light flashing. Stephen R's got less tyres, he's got plenty of fuel. SGP's got more tyres than Stephen R, only by a slither. He's got plenty of fuel as well, as we are on the last lap of the race. Have they caught up to Steve F1? I think the gap's kind of hovered as about the same as on the pack cam. Nelly trying to make a move on Jimmy and Arpal right in front of him as well.
Yeah, I think Demon R must be. He's getting a wee bit sideways there.
Yeah.
I don't know if SGP get close to him and he's kind of they've lost a wee bit of time defending or anything, but the gap looks a bit bigger?
No, the gap between SGP and Demon R is definitely smaller.
No.
Oh, the gap
No,
to
it's
Steve
Steve
F1.
F1.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy's in the barrier of the shield of the pack up. SGP making the move around the outside. I think Demon R's tyres, I think he got a bit out of shape. Oh, SRI's out of shape. He's also had a crash. Steve F1 is going to take the victory though in brilliant fashion. First place for him. SGP takes second place. Demon R third. And someone's spinning. Jason, fourth place. Nelly, fifth place. Jason looks happy with his result there, and rightly so. Oh, Pally is this had a spin. And Jimmy can't pass him because he's out of fuel, I think.
He's slow.
He is out of fuel. Oh, and here comes SRI. Oh, and SRI. Oh, hey, Critical gets him as well. Here comes Critical. It could be close. It won't be, unfortunately, for Critical. But what a race. What a brilliant, bloody race. Very difficult to, I mean, I say this a lot, but very difficult to keep up with everything that was going on in that race, though. But sometimes they're the best ones. I'm trying to think, I don't think we saw anybody doing anything stupid, like any ridiculous attempted overtakes. We saw some crashes in the bomb hole. That's always going to happen. It's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, some brilliant racing out there for certain.
Yeah, well, it was a great race, and yeah, a lot was going on in there. There's quite a few battles. We had a 5-car train at one point. Demon R leading it, and he wasn't really getting away, was he?
No, not at all. I mean, it was interesting as well. I mean, we saw at the end, Demon R, SGP, Art Pal all did a 7-lap stint at the end. Steve F1, I don't know if he changed his strategy part way through, but he did 7 laps at the start, then did a very short stint, and then to kind of match up with the strategy for the other guys, but then went a lap longer, did a 6-lap stint at the end. And you could see that lap shorter stint for him at that time worked for him, because Demon R's tyres were going off, SGP's tyres were going off, and Art Pal's tyres were going off. Whereas Steve F1, with 6 laps, as I mentioned earlier in the race, you could lean on him a lot more. But yeah, brilliant to see, brilliant racing. Unfortunately for Jimmy, ran out of fuel. At the end of the day, if you if you haven't started the final lap and your fuel gauge is flashing, it means you've got 1 lap of fuel left. And if you've got more than a lap to go, you're going to have to save fuel. However, right?
And sometimes if it's flashing as you're going over the line for that last lap, it depends how you use your gears and whatnot, because you might run out still.
Yeah, that is true. But not only that, I think Jimmy likes to run on lean and save fuel at different times in the race. Now, whether he turned the engine up or not towards the end, I don't know. But obviously, running lean, you use less than 1 lap's worth of fuel per lap. Short shifting, you use less than 1 lap's worth of fuel. But yeah, so I mean,
and then when he's when he's went for his last pit stop, you get a wee diamond, and because the way he's been driving, it says, "Oh well, you can use this amount of fuel because the way you've been driving and get to the end." And then he's dialed everything up, and it's just went to come right out the window.
Yeah, I mean, even if he hasn't turned the engine up, even if it's just using more of the rev range, where you're not getting more speed, but you're burning more fuel, that will then send you out of it. I mean, I mentioned about Art Pal using the full rev range part way through. It definitely does burn fuel, and in some cars, it's the best way to do it. In this car, though, you are better off shifting at about 6,000 RPM. For the drivers, if you don't know exactly where 6,000 RPM is, if you've got the horizontal rev range, where it starts lighting up, when that gets above the gear number you are in, shift at that point. That's around about the 6,000 RPM. It will use less fuel, it will be more stable for you, and it will be faster, because as you said, if you use all the rev range, you're out of the power band of the boost.
Yeah.
At that point, it's breathing heavier. It's breathing heavier than SGP at a golf club.
On a golf cart.
on a golf cart. Yeah. Okay, is there anything that we want to mention or touch
Now,
on?
would it be breathing heavier than SGP Golf Club, or would it be breathing heavier than Art Pal with the Rage?
Oh, well, that is a good point. That's a good question. But yeah. Okay, I know during the race I said, "Oh, that's something. Remind me about that afterwards, and we'll talk about it." I can't remember what it was. It might have been something to do with critical. I can't remember.
Was it not tyres or something?
It might have been with the tyres. Yeah, it might have been.
Oh fuck! It's what my head.
Same here. Now, I'm trying to think. The things we kind of talked about with critical was, okay, knowing he needed to do another pit stop, would he have been better off pitting earlier, like as early as possible? The answer to that one, I think, well, it's yes. I mean, especially if you're, well, it doesn't matter what position you're in. If you think there's a chance your tyres may not make it to the end, you're better off committing to as early a pit stop as you can possibly do. So, as an example, if I'd have been in Critical's position, even if I'd have pitted with 8 laps to go, and I'm thinking these tyres aren't going to make 8 laps, I would then pit with 6 laps to go. Because with 6 laps to go, at 6 seconds a lap faster, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36 seconds you can regain. Which means if the pit stops with these cars, we've not really needing a lot of fuel in. I think the pit stops around here were about 24, 25 seconds. You can gain all of your pit loss time and more. But if you leave it till 3 laps to the end, you can't regain it. Now, in some race cars, you might be able to, but in the Radical, you can't, unfortunately. But it will be interesting to see how the drivers get on at the next track, which is Monza, because I don't think that track's going to hurt the tyres as much.
What have you got? Parabolica is mostly.
Yeah.
Parabolica and
Carabolica.
the one after. The one after the first chicane. But you do have heavy braking zones, so
True,
how's that going to play?
It's a good point. I mean, the other thing is,
And it's getting out of the chicanes if you light up the rears as well, so you're going to have to think of that as well.
Well, one thing I can say is I think I would highly recommend for the drivers that get time to, even if you don't get time to practice, whatever gear the game suggests you need for the first corner, go 1 gear higher. For the second chicane, I think it suggests 2nd gear, go 3rd. But you're absolutely right.
And if you feel it's not coming in for you, either break that a little bit earlier or go down to the adjusted gear and switch it back up one before leaving the corner.
I mean that is a tactic I know Demon R was using, and it's one that can work very well. So during that race, again, apologies viewers that you don't get to see what gears and everything the drivers are using, but in those corners where I was saying like Steve F1 is using 3rd gear, SGP is using 4th gear, Demon R was also using 3rd gear, however was actually going down to 2nd gear to get the car to turn in, and then going up to 3rd gear before going back on the throttle. It's a very handy technique to use. It does burn a little bit more fuel, but it does give you that turning. However, SGP and Steve F1, they would have been braking a little bit earlier than Demon R, which allows them to get the car slowed down, rotated, and back on the power. So Demon R could have done exactly the same thing, but it would have been braking a little bit later, which is why he then would have felt needed the 2nd gear just to get the turning. But yeah, you're absolutely right there. And I've remembered what it was I asked you to remind me about, and it wasn't to do with critical.
What was it to do with?
It was to do with Nelly. And I've now completely forgot what it was again. It was something to do with Nelly. I think it was something to do with Nelly and him being on VR.
Information that he couldn't get? Or
I've lost it now.
or seen, or his field of view and driving,
Maybe.
when cars are beside him, maybe not realising they're there, or...
Yes, there is that. I mean, it's not a dig at Nelly at all. But I know I have had a couple of drivers mention that they have been next to Nelly and he's moved across into them, and I genuinely do think it is Nelly not realising there's a car there. So I think it might be. I know we've done this in the past, haven't we? Where I think it was with Gary, where Gary was having a similar thing. He was moving across the road, not realising the car was next to him, and for a while we had it where a few of us, like if we got up, we were getting up alongside him, we were letting him know beforehand, because then he was able to go, okay, no problem. But it's like with the VR, I mean, I don't know if he gets a radar. If he doesn't get a radar, then he wouldn't know where anybody is. But also, if he does get a radar, it would depend on where it is, because obviously Nelly, using the VR sat on in car, he can only see wherever he's looking. The radar and any information he may have on his screen doesn't move with his field of vision. I believe they're static within the view. So if Nelly said, let's say the radar's down in the bottom right corner like it is for most of us if we're on bonnet view, if I'm going into a right hand corner, I can glance at my radar real easy because it's there, I'm looking that way. If I'm going into a left hander, it's harder to be looking around a left hander and looking down in the bottom right corner. But if you're on VR and your radar is down in the bottom right corner, even if you are looking right and going around the corner, that radar might still not be in your view. You might have to look down more. Or if you're going around a left-hander, it isn't even in your peripherals. So it'd be interesting. I mean, it would be interesting to be able to see what Nelly does see while he's racing. Maybe we should get him to record some of it and show us sometime. Now, I can say that's not what I wanted to talk about, but I've forgotten at some point. When I watch this back, when we're like, this is out there, I'll go partway through the... Oh yeah, that was it. That's what I needed to remember. But anyway, right. Okay, anything else you want to mention, Ray?
Oh, no.
Fair enough. So, I know you mentioned you've not been sleeping too great recently.
Huh.
Have you thought about reading in bed?
No.
No. You should try it. It can be very relaxing. It's better than you being on your phone anyway, because your phone lights up your eyes. It activates your eyes and keeps you awake. So I've started.
I'm not on my phone.
Well, maybe you should be on your phone. Well, it might be worth trying reading a book, because it makes your eyes tired and you fall asleep. So I've been struggling recently, so I tried reading the dictionary. Can't get through it though, because I can only get up to P.
Alright.
Yeah. I didn't quite deliver it as well as I should have done. Oh well.
Yeah, if I end up reading a book and I get into the storyline too much, that's it. I've got to finish the book. It's just the way my brain.
Yeah, you can't not get to the end of it. It's interesting. I'm similar with TV programs. If I'm watching a TV program, even if I'm sort of half nodding, I want to get to the end of the TV program before I go right off to bed. But then it's different horses for different courses, isn't it?
And then sometimes when I just get into bed, it's just like white noise through my head, or so many
thoughts.
So many questions, scenarios, overthink going through my head, and it just keeps you awake. And
You know what? This is not a joke, right? I cannot have silence while I'm trying to sleep because I have the same thing. My mind just goes off on one. I listen to a creaky wooden pirate ship riding the waves in a thunderstorm.
one of those fucking videos.
Yep. And that
Yeah.
noise is most of the time enough to just turn my mind off. And if that don't work, alcohol.
Yeah. I've tried meditation and all that, but it just doesn't.
Meditation don't work for me. If you're same as me, if I meditate, my mind, I just think. It's like going, okay, I'm going to sit here peacefully and do exactly what I don't want to do. Let my mind wander about random crap. But a bit like, why aren't all houses fitted with a drain pipe turbo system that generates electricity, so every time it rains, you generate electricity?
Because that's free electricity. We can't have that.
That is absolutely correct. Why would we want to have anything that is absolutely free? And not only that, I mean, just think, you wouldn't have to have one in your drain pipe, would you? You could have a few of them. But no, even crazier idea, but it'll never happen. Why not have turbo electric generators in the rain drainage systems? Because it's free energy. Right, I'm gonna go now.
Have you seen?
What do I need to do to get free food?
You seen I think it's California. It was doing it because people have bought electric cars and they don't have to pay like road tax because they're green. They're going to charge them by the mile. They're going to tax them on the mile.
Yeah. Well, do you know that here they are bringing in road tax for electric vehicles?
Why? When you want them to go green, and people and they're telling them this is how you go green is by getting an electric car and
not
whatnot.
only that, you will be road tax exempt. You won't need to pay it. That's one of the perks and the benefits. Oh no, not anymore. Come 2025, electric vehicles, road taxed. Now, admittedly, if you are disabled and you've got an electric car on Motability, you won't have to pay road tax. But imagine being someone.
Pay road tax for any car on Mobility.
No. Well, that'd be why. But imagine, I don't know, going and spending 80 grand on a Tesla, thinking, yeah, well, at least they ain't got to pay fucking road tax. Oh no, come next year you're going to have to pay road tax. But also, they are thinking about doing it road tax by the mile. Now, interestingly, right, I haven't looked at the details of this, but I personally like the idea of car tax, excuse me, by the mile. As long as it doesn't work out that I'm paying more than what I'm paying now. So I think at the moment for my car, then the road tax is about £290, which is quite a lot, I believe. If you've got a 4-wheel drive, you're looking at 460. If you've got anything over a 2 litre, 460. So with that, I'm like, okay, yeah, bring it in to the miles, because if you've got someone that has got a car that's got an engine bigger than 2 litre or a 4-wheel drive, but they're only doing 3,000 miles a year, which is nothing, then they shouldn't be paying £460. considering like we could have it where I could have a big massive 4x4 but only do 1,000 miles a year, and I'm going to pay £460 car tax. But you, who does 20,000 miles a year in your 2-litre diesel Mondeo, does 30,000 miles and pays half the amount.
Yeah, I think if they do that, then like you get the by mile, but it caps off at what you
Currently paying.
pay if you if you reach to that point, it just caps it there. It doesn't continue on more and more because that would be unfair to people that need cars for like work jobs that are as part of what they need. It's already hard enough in
it's not even
this
just,
day and age.
I was going to say, it's not even just that. I mean, so as an example, this probably makes me sound like a bad son, but okay, so before my mum had her stroke, my yearly mileage was about 4,000 miles a year, so not a lot at all, right? When my mum had her stroke, my mileage doubled nearly instantly because I was doing a lot more trips to their house, to her at the hospital. So it was literally instantly double the mileage. So imagine piling that on to a difficult situation, and it taking you over that threshold. That'd be, yeah. So I like the idea of pay per mile, as long as it doesn't end up being more than what we're currently paying. So
You know what gets me? The world was created, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody owned the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we've got to pay to live.
Yeah. On this free planet.
On the free planet. It just bewilders me. But like, who gave people the right to tax people?
Yeah. We're getting a bit deep here, but I mean, I put forward a concept a few years ago to people, and at the time, you might remember this. At the time, I said, I'm going to mention something now, and you're going to think it's ridiculous. But just because you think it's ridiculous, doesn't mean that number one, it could work, and number two, it's how things should have actually have been. Right? So you ready for this? That everything should be free for everyone forever.
Oh yeah.
You want food? I grow potatoes. You can have some of my potatoes. Oh, you paint walls?
What?
I've built a wall. Can you paint my wall? Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know where the concept of money came in and whatnot, and even time, like the concept of time, and like I do watch a lot of shite.
I think sorry, I was going to interrupt them,
YouTube and all that about how time was made, and that there used to be 13 months in a year and whatnot, and but then you come to think of it, like it's getting warmer later in the year and
colder longer into the start of the year.
Yeah, so it's like shifting, like it's getting more warmer, and it used to be like June, July, it's creeping into August. Now August, September, but the cold's coming just more a wee bit December, mostly in January, spreading over February. So stuff, and that's what keeps me up at night. I know.
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean, but the thing is, I understand that because I think that for the last 3 years, February and March have been the coldest and wettest years for many years. But I kind of get where you could, like with time. I understand how they came up with, okay, this is how we're going to keep track of things with time. But for me, it's kind of like, well, who says that I have to adhere to that? Who says that I should work 9 to 5? What if I want to work 5 to 9? What if I want to work fucking 5 to 8? But anyway, we're getting very deep here and political here. We don't want to do that. But yeah, because we could go on all night. But yeah, it's one of those things. I know I've been down that rabbit hole before. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you could work all day. So this is the other thing for that. You could work all day for every day of your life and never be happy. And where's the point of that? Where is the point of that? Now, I'm not saying that everybody should never contribute to anything, but money and money and stuff like that shouldn't be the first and foremost of everybody's day. It should be, okay, what can I do today that's going to make me happy and not hurt anybody else? It's a simple concept, but one that seems impossible to achieve. I mean, my dad, he worked 12 hours a day to put food on the table. Is he happy? I don't know. But he sure was a slow cook.
Like, I was working 14 hours a day. I would sometimes not getting home till 3 in the morning and then having to get back into work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I would just kill myself for some guy that only sees me as a number. And
killing yourself for somebody else's profit. And this is, I am going to make one last political statement, right? Which is, one thing that this country is extremely screwed up with is, if you want to do something for yourself that you really enjoy and you feel you can make money from, doesn't have to be loads of money. They make it so difficult to be able to progress and advance and better yourself. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. But yeah. It's like when you were saying that you're working 14 hours a day for somebody else's profit. So what did you get out of it? Exhaustion. Never seeing the family. Probably not happy, not sleeping well, not eating well. Whereas if you want to go and do your own thing, where you can make some money that you could live off it, it's made extremely difficult for you to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and there we go. Right, and on that political bombshell, so we talking about numbers, shall we see what's happened with the conference race result and the championship standings?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think it will be. I think it will have changed massively from last week. Oh dear. Right. Okay, Ray, thank you for joining us on commentary.
Oh, it is. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And apologies if anyone got bored with our waffle. It's just sometimes we like to chat. So there we go. Right, have a good one, everybody. And let's go look at them standings. So I can confirm no penalties, no reports actually, so no penalties. Steve F1 then taking the victory and the maximum 20 points ahead of SGP in second place, who gets 17. Demon R in third with 15 points, Jason in fourth on 13 points, Nelly in fifth on 12, Artpal in sixth on 11, SRI in seventh gets 10 points, Jimmy in eighth takes 9, Critical in ninth takes 8 points, and Formula Gary in 10th unfortunately did not finish with that disconnection, massively disappointing for Gary. And just to sort of explain as well, that It may seem a bit harsh that with Gary disconnecting so early on in the race that we didn't restart. However, it is one of those things that is we have in place. So just to give an example, during the race SRI did say sort of like, what's the protocol here, do we restart? And I kind of abruptly said no, we carry on. And I didn't mean it in a rude way. It's just, it's one of those situations where if we restart, what happens if someone else gets disconnected in the first couple of laps? We would then have to restart for them. So there's a whole snowball effect that could take place. Now, obviously, as we mentioned, if there was a mass disconnection, obviously we would restart. Or, in case anybody has forgotten, if the lobby host got disconnected, which is SGP, then obviously the lobby would shut down. Well, what would happen in that situation is the lobby would be reopened, and if it was part way through a race, I believe it would basically go, okay, if it was a 20 lap race and we're 8 laps in, you'd continue with a 12 lap race with the drivers being put in the position they were in at that time, with SGP not taking part in the actual race because he'd got disconnected. So SGP would have to adhere to the disconnection scenarios on that. So yeah, thought I'd just randomly cover that one a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at what that's done to the standings. So a little bit of deja vu here. Steve F1 is top in the standings on 20 points. SGP in second place on 17 points. You know the gist, don't you? It's the first race. The standings are what they were from the end of the race result. We'll quickly mention as well, though, if you are watching this and you are interested in getting involved in the Dynamic GT League events, feel free to check us out on Facebook, drop us a message and we'll get back to you. A couple of things we would like to mention, though, is that you would have to adhere to the DGT rules of racing. It is different to what people may see in things like Formula 1. For example, you can't just do a Max Verstappen and drive people off the road, even if you stay on the track yourself, which he doesn't often do. Anyway, if you're a Max Verstappen fan, you can't join either. Well, you can, but you might get a bit of ribbon. The other thing I would say is, one of the things we do request is that you are over the age of 18, I believe it is. Just for the sanity of everybody. But yeah, if you do want to get involved, feel free to drop us a message and we'll get you in on the practice sessions to see if you are up to speed with us, but also to see if you get on with us, because at the end of the day we are a group of people that have come together as a few different groups of friends and become one big group of friends, and basically you need to fit in with us and we need to fit in with you, and that sounds rather dodgy. Right, on that bombshell, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens at the next race. And I will mention as well, it has been very confusing this last week for a lot of people regarding the change of days. We were racing on a Thursday, practicing on a Monday. Now we race on a Monday, practice on a Thursday. It really messed up my whole weekend, practicing on a Thursday and having nothing to do over the weekend, and then doing the race on a Monday and then feeling like Tuesday was a Friday. Very, very odd. And with people doing practice on Thursday and saying I'll see you for the race on Thursday, yeah, might take a bit of getting used to. Okay, enough waffle from me. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and I guess hopefully we'll see you all again soon.